Hey, Trump says I want $2,000 stimulus check. That was December 22nd. Hey, House passes a measure to increase stimulus checks by $2,000. That's Monday, December 28th. There you go. I want a $2,000 stimulus check. All of a sudden, the House passes a $2,000 stimulus check. Are you shitting me? What? Why did it take Donald Trump to make the democratically controlled House to pass that? You tell me. You tell me. What? So I just want to show you, this is Paul Krugman. And this is what he was writing, why Hillary wins. That's who Paul Krugman is, okay? This aged very well. This aged like a dumpster of a seafood restaurant at an afternoon in July. That's how well this aged. Why do I show you this? Because he says this. The proposal for $2,000 stimulus checks is divisive, he says. And not along simple left-right lines. Lots of disagreement among progressives, with people like Bernie Sanders very pro, but many others not on board. Like who? Like what other, he doesn't mention, he didn't name anybody. Like who? Like you? You mean this guy isn't on board? Like who? You know, he's acting like there's an argument, like there's an actual argument on either side of this. He's pretending there is, Paul Krugman. Why? Because he's paid to pretend that way. One side has a point that we need more relief, but the other side has a point that they need to stick it to poor people right now. Divisive. 84% of Democrats favor a $2,000 direct payment, but it's divisive, according to Paul Krugman. 73% of Republicans favor it, but it's divisive. 74% of independents favor, but it's divisive. Could we stop listening to these people? That's why we have a show. That's why there's independent media now. On one side, what? On the other, this shows that UI tends to be invisible in the political sphere. While the $1,200 checks, while far less important in human terms, got all the attention. It's frustrating, but also an indication of how politics works. Hey, here you have a guy having a conversation with himself on Twitter, trying to justify his own bullshit. Wow. So while analysts should try to get politicians to understand the economic realities, I don't think we should campaign against checks for almost everyone. They're not a great policy, but they may be a necessary part of selling the deal. Hey, let's give the poors a little bit so we could get all that other stuff. That's what Paul Krugman's saying. Paul Krugman is he looking for a job on Fox Business? Hey, Rick Overton nails it about Paul Krugman. What do they have? What do they have? Secret footage of you doing? Did you really think that was a one-way mirror on the wall? So that's him trying to figure out why Paul Krugman is saying obviously crazy fucking batshit, anti-American, anti-worker, everything. Complete right-wing claptrap bullshit. So Rick Overton says, what do they have secret footage of you doing? Did you really think that was a one-way mirror on the wall, Paul? Oh, in fact, Rick Overton's onto something. Paul Krugman, my computer was hacked to download child pornography. Well, now we know why Paul Krugman does this. You want to know why Paul Krugman sounds like Newt Gingrich? There you go. Rick Overton knew exactly what he was talking about. I bet it was the same time-traveling hackers who did Joyanne Reed's blog to make her seem homophobic. More like Paul Ugman. Hey, Georgia Senators Perdue, Loeffler throw their support behind a $2,000 stimulus check. So people, conservatives trying to get elected, are super pro the $2,000 check, but still Paul Krugman, who has child pornography accidentally downloaded onto his computer, he's against it. I wonder why that is. Perdue and Loeffler last week, $600 checks are socialism. Perdue and Loeffler this week, we support $2,000 checks. I'd like to know which one of the extra $1,400 makes it not socialism anymore. So the United States government is too far right for Republicans in Georgia. Republicans in Georgia are to the left of the U.S. federal government and Paul Krugman. Now even Perdue and Loeffler are supporting the $2,000 stimulus because they see it's what voters want. If the Democratic Party had stood loud and proud for this starting in March, Democrats would easily be controlling both houses and the Senate today. Yes. Do you see how being seen fighting for people gets you votes? Well, those two conservatives in Georgia do. They understand how being seen. So if AOC and Ro Khanna and Mark Pocan are seen fighting for Medicare for all, #force the vote, do you see how that ensures your reelection? Yet they still won't do it. Love that Kamala was pushing for $2,000 a month with Bernie until the moment she joined Team Austerity. She is still a senator. Where the hell is she? Exactly right. She's listening to music before it was released and celebrating holidays before they were invented. That's where she is. That's where Kamala Harris is. Glenn Greenwald says if this passes, the three people most responsible will be Bernie, Josh Hawley, and Trump. With credit due to the progressive House members as well, Kamala was not a factor. You want to know where Kamala was? Well, here's why this $600 was $600 to begin with, because Joe Biden weighed in, and Joe Biden said, I'm for austerity, and so it gave all the Democrats cover to go for $600 instead of $2,000. Do you want me to read it to you? This is from the New York effing Times. Members of both parties said Joe Biden's intervention was constructive and gave Democrats confidence to pull back from their demands. So when Joe Biden, he sided on the side of the Republicans in this debate about whether to give you money or not. He sided on the $600 side, not $2,000. It took Trump to do that, and now everybody's on board for it. That's why Kamala Harris is nowhere seen on this. She's still a senator. And then McConnell blocked immediate vote on the $2,000 stimulus check, leaving their fate in limbo. There is no sign that a bill on a $2,000 check is going to get a vote in the Senate. Bottom line, there's absolutely no sign right now that a standalone bill on $2,000 checks is going to get a vote in the Senate floor. It looks like McConnell is simply going to run the clock out. In other words, Mitch McConnell's going to try to get his way by moving very, very slow, which, considering his appearance, makes it kind of funny, still tragic, but kind of funny. There were several opportunities on Tuesday when McConnell could have made that assurance or let Democrats pass the bill with unanimous consent. They would have shielded his members from having to take a potentially tough vote. McConnell blocked those efforts. Instead, he gave himself an out card down the line, and only if he needs one, by placing on the calendar a bill that would tie a repeal of Section 230 to increasing direct stimulus payments to $2,000 for Americans. The Kentucky Republican will probably never bring it up. It's there just in case he needs to put something on the floor. Democrats are furious, and there's nothing they can do about it. $2,000 checks for Section 230 repeal is a great deal. Take it. If repeal of Section 230 is a disaster, it will be a comprehensive disaster, and Congress will quickly move on a fix. But it may not be a wreck, and either way, there's a Biden FCC next year to do actual governing. So not passing $2,000 checks is pitiful. Refusing to even vote on passing $2,000 checks is monstrous. So there you go. There's the Democrats not doing a fucking thing to try to help you all year long. And then when it came time, it took Trump to fucking make a move. And then they passed it to, and now they got no umph and they got no nothing. Well, they do have a chance with hashtag force to vote. They have all the leverage in the world. And don't let them off the hook. Do not let the squad off the hook, the progressive leaders, Jamal Bowman, Mark Pocan, Ro Khanna, Rashid Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Alana Presley, Marie Newman, Katie Porter. Do not let them off the hook. If they don't do this, they are canceling us. They are canceling the movement. They are saying, we've got health care, fuck you. So if they do this, the AOC and the squad is canceling us, the Medicare for All movement. That's what they're doing. And I have this idea. I want to go to. If they don't do this, I will go primary one of them. And I'll just say I'll probably primary Mark Pocan. and it'll be my message will be I'm running on whatever he says he's going to do. I'm actually going to do it. So I'm totally on board with Mark Pocan's policies and what he says, but he's just not going to do it. I will. So if you like him, vote for me and I'll do what he says that he wants to do. That'd be my platform. That's my whole platform. Whatever Mark Pocan says he's going to do, I'm actually going to do it. So if you like him and want to vote for him, vote for me and I'll do what he says he's going to, because he obviously isn't. I'd like to see how many votes I get in the primary. That's my entire campaign. Jimmy, what do you think about this? I think whatever Mark Pocan thinks. Are you for this? If he's for it, I'm for it. That's my whole campaign. Jimmy, you for Medicare for All? Yes, but I'm for fighting for it. He's not. He says he is, but I'll do it. I bet I would win that primary. I bet I would win that. That would make hilarious interviews. Jimmy, are you for this? Mark Pocan. Well, if Mark Pocan's for it, I'm for it. Well, then why are you running if you're for everything? Well, because I'm actually going to fight for that stuff. He isn't. That would be a fun race. I bet I would win. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.